If you want to know if your loved one should go to LTAC when they're in an induced coma and on 100% of oxygen in intensive care, stay tuned. I've got news for you. My name is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehotline.com, and I have another quick tip for families in intensive care. So currently we are working with a client who has their 63-year-old husband in ICU after cardiac arrest and hypoxic brain injury. And they were initially told that, the best course of action here is to withdraw treatment, stop life support. And because if the husband was survived the intensive care stay, they won't have any quote unquote quality of life. That is the perception, or was the perception, of the intensive care team. I mean, we advised the family early on that, if they were to withdraw treatment, the outcome. Patient is going to die. If you don't withdraw treatment, you don't know the outcome. And there may be some suffering and there may be quality of life issues, but at least you're giving people a chance to get through this, right? The family decided to soldier on with treatment. Interestingly enough, then the ICU team was changing the narrative, talking about, well, now then we should do a tracheostomy and send out the patient to LTAC as quickly as possible, right? Instead of trying to wean the patient off the ventilator, there was still time. It was only around day 7 when they were doing the tracheostomy. At that stage, we were not involved yet. Otherwise, we would have said, well, day 7 is too early. Let's keep trying wean the patient off the ventilator and let's revisit a tracheostomy after day 10, day 14, in case there's progress to be made with weaning off the ventilator. Cutting a long story short, that didn't happen. Patient ended up with a tracheostomy, right? And then as soon as the patient had the tracheostomy, they didn't do a PEG tube, still got a nasogastric tube. Don't give consent to PEG tubes as a rule of thumb, especially if you're in the US and you're potentially facing a discharge to LTAC. Never give consent to a PEG tube. Done plenty of videos around that topic. So then when the family reached out and said, hey, they want to send us to LTAC, I said, number one, if it doesn't have a PEG tube, it's unlikely. Most LTACs cannot take nasogastric tubes, right? And that should tell you everything about the skill level that an LTAC has, right? It's very low. If they can't look after a nasogastric tube, how can they possibly look after a ventilator and a tracheostomy, right? Once again, the biggest challenge for families in intensive care is simply that they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what to look for. They don't know what questions to ask. They don't know their rights, and they don't know how to manage doctors and nurses in intensive care. So family was being pushed towards LTAC, but then turns out the patient is on 100% of oxygen. So the air that you and I are breathing, room air, is 21% of oxygen, right? And now he's got 100% of oxygen, and he's on dialysis, and he's on inotropes and vasopressors, right? Such as norepinephrine, vasopressin, right? He's on a heparin infusion, on amiodarone infusion. He's got many things working against him, and the ICU wants to send him to LTAC. Now, let me be clear, LTAC is not even the better version of a nursing home. Can you now see why you need a second opinion when you have a loved one critically ill in intensive care, right? You absolutely need a second opinion to handhold you through this once-in-a-lifetime situation that you simply can't afford to get wrong, right? He would bounce back to ICU in no time, right? He's got so many things going on, including atrial fibrillation because he's on amiodarone, right? He's also got a low hemoglobin level, making him more likely to needing blood transfusions, right? So, and on 100% of oxygen, there's no way that an LTAC would be able to take him. His blood gases are extremely low, right? So 99.9% of families in intensive care simply don't question. They have no idea what they're dealing with. And, if it wasn't for our input here, the family might have signed off on him going to LTAC, and this patient would die in LTAC, or he would bounce back into another ICU. There's no way that LTACs can manage 100% of oxygen. No way LTACs can manage inotropes or vasopressors. No way LTACs can manage the dialysis. They might be able to manage one aspect of it at the most, but certainly not all of it combined, right? Plenty of case studies on our website at intensivecarehotline.com where patients have bounced back from LTAC to ICU in less than 24 to 48 hours. You have to question the clinical judgment of the intensive care team if they're even suggesting a discharge to LTAC in a situation like that. So always get a second opinion, always read between the lines, always look at the facts, right? And we can break down the facts for you here at intensivecarehotline.com. We have helped hundreds of members and clients over the years. I have worked in critical care nursing for 25 years in 3 different countries, where I worked as a nurse manager for over 5 years, and where I've been consulting and advocating for families in intensive care since 2013 here at intensivecare.hotline.com. Right, and I can confidently say we have saved many lives for our clients and members, and that is verified and documented on our testimonial section at intensivecare.hotline.com. It's verified and documented on our intensivecare.hotline.com podcast section at intensivecare.hotline.com, because there we've got done client interviews, right? So, and that's why we created a membership for families of critically ill patients in intensive care. And you can become a member if you go to intensivecare.hotline.com, if you call us on one of the numbers on the top of our website, or if you simply send us an email to support@intensivecare.hotline.com with your questions. But you can also get access to the membership if you go to intensivecare.hotline.com by clicking on the membership link or by going to intensivcaresupport.org directly. In the membership, you have access to me and my team 24 hours a day in a membership area and via email, and we answer all questions intensive care related. In the membership, you also have exclusive access to 21 ebooks and 21 videos that I have personally written and recorded, and you will get access to that once you are a member. And it will help you to make informed decisions, have peace of mind, control, power, and influence, making sure your loved one gets best care and treatment always. I also do one-on-one consulting and advocacy over the phone, Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp, whichever medium works best for you. I talk to you and your families directly. I talk to you and I handhold you through this once-in-a-lifetime situation that you simply can't afford to get wrong. I also talk to doctors and nurses directly, and when I talk to them, I ask all the questions that you haven't even considered asking, but must be asked when you have a loved one critically ill in intensive care. I also represent you in family meetings with intensive care teams. We also do medical record reviews in real time so that you can get a second opinion in real time. We also do medical record reviews after intensive care if you have unanswered questions, if you need closure, or if you are suspecting medical negligence, and all of that you get at intensivecare.hotline.com. Call us on one of the numbers on the top of our website, or send us an email to support@intensivecare.hotline.com with your questions. And all of that you get. And if you like my videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel for regular updates for families in intensive care. Click the like button, click the notification bell, comment below what you want to see next, what questions and insights you have from this video. I also do and share the video with your friends and families. I also do a weekly YouTube live where I answer your questions live on a show. And you will get notification for the YouTube live if you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, or if you are a subscriber to my intensivecare.hotline.com email newsletter at intensivecare.hotline.com. Thank you so much for watching. This is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecare.hotline.com, and I will talk to you in a few days. Take care for now.